You're still here. That's the triumph no one can undo. In this instant, between breath and thought, you are. The world swore you wouldn't get this far. The voices inside agreed. Yet here you stand, defying every forecast of collapse. Your very presence rebels against every force that wanted you quiet. You're still here. That's the triumph no one can undo. The storms rose and fell. Each one vowed to be the last you'd endure. You bent, yet never broke. You learned the line between yielding and giving up, those nights when sleep would not come. When your mind turned into a warfield, you fought battles no one could witness, won victories no one would honor. Still you stayed steady as dawn. The mirror showed you faces you hardly knew, stranger echoes of yourself, altered by circumstance, marked by experience, worn by time, yet unchanged where it matters most, the part that refuses to quit. You're still here. That's the triumph no one can undo. They weighed your worth by output, by trophies, by how well you matched their scripts. But your real value was never what you produced. It was what you survived. The quiet choices to stay when leaving looked easier. When the weight of living pressed hard on your shoulders, you carried it anyway, one breath at a time. The ones who left, the chances that faded, the doors that shut, each loss felt like proof you weren't enough. But what if they were clearing ground, making room for what was meant to reach you? What if each rejection protected you from what wasn't yours to lift? You're still here. That's the triumph no one can undo. Your softness was called weakness. Your depth was called too much. Yet deep waters cradle the most life. Sensitive hearts notice the most truth. You sense what others miss, feel what many avoid. This is not your burden, this is your gift. The world needs what you carry, the questions you raise, the ties you create. Between pain and repair, between despair and hope, you bridge worlds others can't even see. The anxiety that grips your chest, the fog that dims your sight. These aren't punishments for being alive. They are responses to a world that forgot how to hold its tender ones. Your nervous system isn't broken. It's overwhelmed by a broken world. You're still here. That's the triumph no one can undo. In your darkest hours, you found something profound. You are not your thoughts. The scolding voice is not your truest self. It's the echo of old injuries, inherited pain, taught fear, borrowed shame. Beneath that noise lives something quieter, constant, the witness, the watcher, the you that remains when all else falls away. This part has never been touched by trauma, never reduced by loss. It regards your pain with compassion, your fear with understanding. It knows every feeling is temporary. Every storm will pass. You are not the weather. You are the sky that holds it all. You're still here. That's the triumph no one can undo. The healing you want isn't a return to who you were. That person is gone, cannot exist after all you've lived. Healing is integration. The wounded and the wise, the frightened child and the fierce guardian, the broken-hearted and the love expanded. You are not damaged goods awaiting repair. You are a masterpiece in progress. Every crack lets more light in. Every scar carries a survival tale. Your broken places are where your beauty begins. The strength you seek isn't the absence of vulnerability. True strength is feeling it all and choosing love anyway. Crying and continuing, breaking and becoming. You're still here. That's the triumph no one can undo. Look back at who you were a year ago, 5 years ago, 10. See how far you've grown, how much you've learned, how many versions of yourself you've come and outgrown. Each ending became a beginning. Each loss, a lesson. You have been your best teacher, your most faithful companion. Even when you felt most alone, you stayed with yourself through one more day, one more hour, one more breath. That isn't small, it's monumental. Your resilience isn't random. It's practiced, chosen, earned. You chose hope when despair felt easier. You chose growth when staying small felt safer. You chose love when your heart felt too shattered to risk. You're who's still here. That's the triumph no one can undo. Tomorrow will ask things of you. The world will make demands. But tonight, in the stillness, remember what you've already done. You have survived 100% of your worst days. You have loved despite betrayal, trusted despite disappointment. You found meaning in chaos, beauty in broken places. Your story isn't over. This chapter isn't the end. You are the author of your becoming, the artist of your recovery. Every choice is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. Paint boldly, love with your whole heart. Show up as you are, light and shadow together. You're still here. That's the triumph no one can undo. Rest in the knowing that your presence matters. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are exactly where you need to be, becoming who you're meant to become. The universe conspired to make you. Stars died to forge the elements in your body. You are made of ancient light and infinite possibility. You're here for a purpose only you can fulfill. Trust the process. Trust the path. Trust yourself. You're still here. That's the triumph no one can undo. And by being here, you've already won.